philosophies of life, it's like well, the beauty of philosophies of life is that it doesn't actually mean very much at the school. It's just like up to the professor what he wants to make it. And I do it like, kind of like an introduction to ethics, but with the spin of, we're going to talk about like the meaning of life and meta-ethics, which is like the foundations of moral value.
So does it have like a crossover between like epistemology?
Yeah, we talked about epistemology, yeah. It's kind of like, it's, the way I teach it, it's like intro to philosophy, but for angsty people.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had that class with Marty Hines, and he did it completely different.
Yeah. Yeah, very different.
Where do we submit the extra credit on campus if we're done with it?
It should be, there should be a Dropbox up there now, if you want to check and see if it's actually working. Yeah, so extra credits due right now, the 3 arguments. If you don't have money though, don't worry about it. Like, just get them in by tonight. Yeah, don't stress. Yeah, I opened up a Dropbox on Canvas last night.
Who was it that did the birds or the birds aren't real? I think my phone was listening. Now I keep getting invited to groups about birds aren't real, and I've seen so many memes on it now.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's there, I see it.
After we tried that one?
Oh, wow.
No idea. I think it was at the body of my last day. I think I tried it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And then I just realized, earlier today, that
Yeah, no, it doesn't get me either. I missed your message until the next day.
I just saw earlier today.
I'm down to play the 46 if you want.
I think tomorrow. I gotta do some grading tonight.
Yeah.
I gotta finish some stuff.
Yeah, just shoot me, you got my phone number, shoot me a
Yeah.
text. That's more reliable.
Easier.
Yeah. Okay. Everyone hear me okay? Good? Alright.
Oh, we clicked.
So we've got no more new material. We've already covered 7.4, the rules, and we just have to practice 7.4. Anything we want to go over in particular? Questions, homework problems, anything? I'll go over anything you want.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Since there's since we're doing all the steps now on the test, are you going to be grading more on like how concise it is and accurate? Because there can be different ways to get to the conclusion.
Yeah, so if you can prove an argument to be valid in 5 ways and you put any of them up, that's fine. As long as you're using the rules correctly, then you're good. I don't care how long it takes you, how many steps. I don't care if there's a shorter way to do it. You get full credit just in case you prove it valid with using the rules correctly.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, you can do the stuff where like you don't have to do a commutivity before you do a simplification.
Okay.
Right, yeah. Any other questions? Alright, let's just take a real honest vote. Raise your hand if you think that, because we've got till the 9th, right, where we don't have any new material and we're just practicing 7.4. Raise your hand if you think maybe I should cut it short and we should have been done with 7.4 by today. Or do you need till the 9th to get the homework done and be prepared for the test? Okay. That's what I'm wondering, because I'm bored. frankly. I don't want to keep practicing 7.4. But I'm just not, I can't gauge, like, do you want this extra time? Do you want to take the test now? What would you, like, how are you guys feeling?
I mean, to have the test open, until like the 9th or whatever, that would be nice, cause I do have another exam the 9th. So to have it like a window where I could just take it whenever I need, that would be nice. And then just
Okay.
have the packet through the 9th.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good. Any objections to that?
I didn't hear the second part.
I'm gonna leave the packet, like the homework due date, the 9th. I'm gonna open the test today.
Okay.
It'll still be due the 9th, but if you're already ahead, then you can get it done now if you want, yeah. But what do you think? Like, for the course next semester, I'm teaching the same thing. Did I spend too long on the logic proofs? Or is this adequate time? Do you feel like you need more time? Do you get what I'm saying?
Personally, I think this is adequate time.
Okay.
I think because we have extra time, I am slacking on doing some of the homework. But if I didn't have that extra time, I would have the homework. I mean, I think there was adequate time.
So, okay, so here's what I'm wondering. Should I give you less time and put higher pressure on you?
It's not that much pressure.
Okay, so.
If I were to cut it short by a week and we were supposed to be done with 7.4 a week ago and taken a test, that would have been more pressure, right?
That would have been a little bit more.
Would it have kept you more on top of your work, you guys think? Probably not. You probably just wouldn't have done as good. That's what I'm thinking too. What are you gonna say?
As someone who typically learns a bit quicker than other people in classes, I'm not saying I'm better, I'm just saying it's something I've noticed. I've been done with the homework for like over a week now, so I feel like maybe the test should have opened a bit sooner.
Okay.
But I don't know if the time should have been shortened, because there are going to be people in the class who need that extra time.
Right. People learn at all different speeds.
Yeah.
And that's, I've kind of tried to, I don't want to, learning should be like not super stressful in my opinion, because if I get stressed out and I just shut down, I'm done.
I mean, here's another thing. Like, I've pretty much learned everything that was got, so I'm pretty good to take the test, but to have the extra time to actually do the homework, because I can learn it without the homework. The homework's
Right.
just extra practice.
Uh,
So to have that extra time to do the homework, so that I can also take care of everything else in all my other classes, that is nice.
okay. So it seems like, yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say maybe to keep everybody on the same, not the same pace, but make sure those who can't learn as fast because they're, not picking up a certain part that you're teaching, having like completions done for the homework where it's not just all due that day, but like they come in and you randomly do checks seeing like, okay,
Right.
you haven't gotten, like, majority hasn't finished this section, let's practice that. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's good. I think I will definitely do that too. I think I'll have the homework not just do all on the 9th next time. Instead, it will be done in, like, maybe every 2 weeks we're turning in a packet. Yeah. Which is hell for my grader, or for me, but, it's, yeah. So, good advice, yeah.
I think the only issue that I've had with like the homework is like not the homework itself, but it's like we'll be learning a section and then come to class and do practicing in class, and then people just simply don't have any idea how to do anything. Like not even the basics.
That's just college, though. That's
Yeah,
everybody.
I mean,
Yeah.
you've
I
got
don't
the
know.
homework and you've got like the last several class periods, and yet you have to relearn everything in one class period. I find that frustrating just to sit and watch it happen. I mean,
So maybe I
understand-
should be more willing to just leave people behind.
No. Maybe you split up the packets,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
they still have a decent period of time. But like once you finish 7.3, maybe you already have 7.3 done and move on. I don't know.
Okay.
Something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I need to figure out how to do that. Okay. Yeah, I hear both of you. I think you're both right. I need to figure out how to do that, though, without leaving people behind.
Right.
Because as we all know as college students, you prioritize some classes more than others, right? It's just inevitable. I did the same thing. I was behind in every non-philosophy class through all of college because I didn't give a shit. Yeah. So no judgment. When I say leaving people behind, I'm not judging you. I'm just saying I'm trying to balance all the different speeds and stuff here. Any other input? Class speed, organization, anything?
I feel like adding that random 2-week period where we were reading the Humes and Lipton articles, it was nice, it was interesting to like get to do that, but I think having that right kind of, I don't know if we did it before we started doing the symbolic logic or not, but I
Mm,
kind of
yeah.
felt that was like a random place to like throw that in if we're gonna be starting to do this.
Yeah, I agree. I
Is
just
that
didn't
just
do.
like a preview of like we have to learn this stuff first in order to tackle that question? Of,
Yeah, so that the last section of the class is all about that problem and responding to it and inductive reasoning, which we're about to get into after the test. I think not the ninth, not I don't remember the next class. After the test is done on the ninth, then we'll get into the new material, and it's heady stuff. So yeah, I just didn't want to this semester. I just didn't want to do more truth tables because it seemed like everybody was on track, or 90% of class was. So instead of doing another week, I just moved up some of the material there to give us more time and more time. Yeah.
that makes more
Yeah, I
sense.
just
So
like that.
next semester, I'm not doing that. I'm just cutting the truth tables a week short and then going right into propositional. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I think you're also gonna get a skewed answer because the people that actually show up to the class are the people that are probably actually doing their stuff on time or keeping up.
Yes.
Where I think we have probably way less than half the class in here.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Less
And
than half
so
for sure.
Those are the people that you probably want a more real answer from.
Right. But do I want a more real answer
Yeah,
from them?
because they're
Does their
not-
opinion matter as much? I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Because if I know if I asked everybody, then they would tell me, why don't you just have no due dates
Yeah.
or no
Yeah.
homework, right? So I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, just pass me, that'd be fine.
Sure. I mean, the reality is some of you probably have enough points to just stop doing it now, right? Yeah. That's a kind of a weakness of this class is it might be too easy that if you just do the homework and take 2 tests, you're done. You just leave with a C, right? I don't know.
I mean, if you're down for that, I'm not down for C.
Yeah, I don't know. Certain classes I would have been. So no judgment again.
No, that's me in accounting right now.
Yeah.
I'll take a C.
That's me in like bio. In biology, I was just like, I hate this fucking class.
Yeah.
Love bio lab, hated biology. Alright, any other input? Okay, so what I'm hearing is that the time is fine, the amount of time we're spending on each chapter is okay, but put a little bit more pressure on with the due dates being more consistent, like every 2 weeks or something for some homework. And then for like this test, maybe don't have parts 1 and 2 do at the same time, maybe stagger them a little bit more to make sure people are staying on their toes.
Yeah, and I think it would help to like split up the homework because it is a whole lot of homework just for one packet. And maybe it would help to split them up in sections
Mhm.
so that you like have it done at least by the end of like by the time that you're starting a new section. That might help too.
Yeah.
If you're a procrastinator doing all of it at that last day, that's
Mhm.
a nightmare.
I've done
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I never did that with this with logic because, that's like I don't know how you can do that in this class. I would die. I get so stressed out and overwhelmed with homework that I just like I would fail. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Any other input? Anything?
If
Good.
we had a different instructor, it'd be nice.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's fine. Somebody said that in one of my morning classes. And when they said it so deadpan serious, I was like, for a second, I'm like, are you really?
Aw.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't know, they were joking, but like for a second, I was like, no way, you actually just said this. That's awesome. Good for you.
It's funny.
Yeah. I don't mind dry humor at all. But I was genuinely concerned for a moment. All right. Okay. So raise your hand if you are doing if you're on 7.4 right now, and you're working on it. Okay. I want to say let's just do some 7.4 problems. Good. I know it might be boring.
I'm finishing up 7.3 now.
7.3. Let's do some 7.4. And let's just go straight to the most difficult ones. Right? And work on those. Who's got their book? Raise your hand if you got your book. Alright. Pretty much everyone. Let's do 7.4.3. Actually, wait, 7.4.2? Yeah, 7.4. Sorry.
Nice.
7.4.3. 11th edition is a little different, I think. If it's the 11th, I think you might be in 7.4.2. But if it's the 13th, I think 7.4.3. Let's go through the last, like, 15. Just get as many as we can done. And some of these get kind of hard.
So it goes to 45, right? So we'll make sure we're in the same section.
Yeah.
Wait, 45 or 35?
Does yours only have 35?
Yeah.
Okay, mine has 45.
Oh.
Point two or point?
7.4.3.
Oh, just kidding. Mine has 45. I thought the last time I looked at the reading schedule it said 35.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I just haven't checked.
Yeah, the homework is just 1 through 35.
Oh,
Right.
sorry. I thought you were talking about the. My bad.
Yeah.
My
No, you're
bad.
good. You're good.
Yeah, there's,
Um,
like, there's 45 questions, but we only had to do 35.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's do, ready for a number? Who's got their, make sure you have your rule sheets, because if you're not on 7.4 yet, this might get hard. 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. Right?
So you say 49?
48.
I don't know what you said when you pointed at me.
Okay, let's start
Yeah,
over.
it only goes to 45, and you said you started.
Wait, what am I doing? Oh my
You
god.
started
Yeah,
at
you didn't
49.
even do
My
49.
brain is fried,
I'll
please.
do 46.
I think you meant.
Yeah.
I think you meant 30.
Yeah, I mean, I'm down.
We'll start from 30. Man, my brain. Okay, you ready again? Let's just do 30, 31,
Why do you keep going straight back to him? I'm right behind you.
because I'm going this way.
That's confusing me.
I don't know. Okay, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39. Good? There we go. In the last class today, I was counting backwards and I went 15, 14, 13, 10, 12, 11, and my students were like, what are you doing? I'm tired. I'm sorry. Let's just, let's not work on them alone. Let's do them in front of everyone, off the top of our heads, and speed things up. Are you ready to suffer?
I don't know what you're saying.
You-
I'm not here where you're saying.
You can, do I need to be louder?
No, I just have hearing loss.
Oh, okay. Okay, let's not do them on our own. Let's all do them together, right?
Okay.
You already did it? Come on up and put yours on the board. Yeah. Let's just speed this up. Can everybody else hear me okay?
Yeah.
It's just me.
It's just you,
Like,
okay.
I couldn't hear when she was talking.
I feel like I'm going crazy today because I can't count backwards. I'm assigning wrong numbers, and now it's like, I can't hear what you're saying. I'm like, what is happening? My brain is turning off.
And you're 30.
No, you're there.
Look, he's 30. He went straight back because you said,
30, 31,
oh, okay.
32, 33.
I'm lost. I don't know.
It's okay. I'm lost too. And I'll never be found. Okay, as you're doing this, walk us through step by step.
I'll walk you through step by step once I finish writing the one I'm doing.
Alright, it's fine by me.
Because I haven't gotten to the
Whatever
part
you
where
feel
I
most
show
comfortable
what I
with.
did myself yet. Alright, so for this one, using distribution, you can get IRN and IRF.
Cool.
And if you simplify it, you can get IRF on its own. And then if you use double negation, you get not I or F. Then if you use implication, you can get not I implies F.
Cool.
then if you use, is it transpose?
Yeah, transposition.
If you use transpose, you can get not F implies not I. And then if you use, where is it? Then you can get not F implies F using hypothetical syllogism with 7 and 6. Then if you use implication, you can get not F or F.
Good.
I'm sure you can already see this.
Yeah.
And if you use double negation, you can just get F or F.
Good.
Finally, since it's a tautology, you just get F.
Good. Valid. Beautiful. Okay, good. Good job. That's great. Concise, no extra steps. Any questions on this one? All right, let's do this. For the next ones, everyone stop working on your proof. We're going to go in blind and fresh to each one.
That was not good for me.
I know. It's good for my mind, though. All right, okay, who's next? 31? Come on down. And it's okay if you're not done. Like, just don't finish it. Like, just figure it out in real time, and that will make you have to talk to the class and figure it out together. Right? No? I see people writing. No more writing. No more working. We're going in blind. So K if and only if R, K then R then P, not P, therefore not R. Alright. Do you already have this one done?
No, I'm all over the place. I've been trying to practice
That's fine.
speech today.
Yeah. You're good. Okay, so I'm going to just step back unless you really need me. And you as a class, work together. Figure this out and teach each other. Let's do it. How do you think you'd proceed?
That is a great question.
Ask your class. Talk amongst yourselves. Figure it out. We'll do some
Move over just a little
group
bit.
problem solving.
Because K is if and only if R, you can do material implication to do K then R and then R then K.
Okay, cool. What's the form of material implication?
What do you mean?
Like, what is that rule? Someone tell me the rule.
P then Q is like logically equivalent to not P or Q.
Uh,
I guess
so,
with your, sorry, I forgot that.
yeah. No, you're right. So material implication, but that wouldn't give you 4, right? It wouldn't give you K then R. So material implication goes like this.
Oh, sorry, I meant material equivalent.
Yeah, okay, that's what I was asking. material implication goes square then triangle is the same as not square or triangle. Good. Now, equivalence, do you remember this one? P if only if Q, what's that end up equaling?
P then Q, Q then P.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what she's saying to do on one. But you don't have to do that. I mean, whatever you guys want to do to work that is fine.
Could you then, if you do 4 and 5 like that, then could you do like K, then K, and then call it a tautology? So then you would just have K. And so if you have K, then you get R, then P, and then because you have not P, then you have R. Then you have to have not R.
Tautology on differentiation for this.
Yeah, but there's no rule for that, though. There's no rules for any of these steps, right? We have to cite a specific rule. So you're thinking of a tautology on 2? But we can't do 4 alone, right?
Okay, so if you then. If you
Okay,
do
so
K, then
restart.
R.
Wipe this and restart from 4.
Okay.
From 4?
Yeah. Wipe 4 as well. We're just going to completely start over.
So if you take one and then do material equivalent, you get K then R and R then K in one line.
Oh.
And then you can do simplification to get them on their own. Right.
And then the tautology.
And then, yeah, and then K then K.
That's legal.
Yeah, K then K is legal.
It's
That's just a
hypothetical
hypothetical
syllogism.
syllogism, yeah.
Yeah. And then you just get K using tautology.
Is that part of the rules, though? That form of tautology?
I don't know.
Because it doesn't actually, K then K doesn't give you K, because,
Is it K or K then gives you K?
yes, K or K gives you K. Because think about what K then K means. If I had K, then I'd have K. Does that mean I have K?
No.
No, it just means if I had K, then I would have K. Right? Alright, so we can't do that move. Look at your rules. So I handed you all the 18 rules. They might be on the other side.
You have a rule sheet?
Yeah, it comes in, every book has a rule cheat sheet, by the way. All copies, even the PDF. They're in the front and the back. If you have a physical copy, there's a cardboard cutout that you rip out of the book. It's all 18 rules. Just FYI.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I handed. Okay, so what did you do from there? That hypothetical syllogism worked. Because it says K then R, R then K. So K gives you R gives you K. Wouldn't that mean K gives you K? So that worked. But what could you do from there? Does anybody else see it? So you put K then K back there if you want for 7.
I don't have to use last rules in my as well.
If I have K then K, what can I do with that on 7? Anything at all. I mean, literally just pick anything you want.
Could you do Morgan's it?
Can't do Morgan's an arrow, no.
Oh, that's right.
Implication,
Material implication,
and then you can do tautology. No, can you? No, you can't.
close. That's a good try there. But you can do material implication. Do you
That
remember
just
the
means
material
it's a
implication rule?
Off the top of my head.
Right there. Do an implication on 7. close. Yeah, or. Okay, so not K or K. Does that get us anywhere? I'm not sure.
So where's the cheat sheet?
I mean, you can do it.
Huh?
Where did you say the cheat sheet was? I'm trying.
What version of the book do you have?
13.
PDF or physical?
PDF.
The PDF one, it should be at the very end of the book.
Usually DeMorgan's at 9.
Or at the very beginning.
Yeah.
So it'd be not K and not K. It'd be DeMorgan's first.
Okay. We're in another room. Okay.
Put a
Self-confidence.
parentheses around to isolate that first not. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Look through here and think about what each of them mean,
Mm-hmm.
and try to problem solve it. Right?
Think about what?
Think about what each of these steps means. Everybody together, let's look at this and see where we can go from here as a class. Like, how do we fix this? Right? Let's all collaboratively try to figure this problem out.
Well, is there a way that you can do, what's it called? The dilemma one, constructive dilemma, since we have this for that?
Maybe? Yeah. What lines would you try to do something on?
Does on line 4, does the second part of the statement, is that R then K?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So we've got K then R and R then K on 4. Right. Can we do anything with that?
Could you double negation 9 to then isolate the K and not K and then simplify?
Mm-mm. It wouldn't get you there with double negation.
You can do addition on line. Well, no. Just kidding.
Just say what you're gonna say, man.
Can you like take a different approach?
Sure. Anything.
So on number 2, if you use implication to make it K implies not R or P, couldn't you just after that add to 3, so not P and not R, then take out, then use the Morgans to get basically the opposite.
Let's try it. So, first step suggestion.
So for line 2, you can make that K implies not P or sorry, not R or P using implication.
Okay. So, do an implication on 2
Specifically on the stuff in the parentheses only.
on the right hand side of 2. If you did a material implication on the right hand side of 2, what would that give you? Good. Okay. So we know K implies not R or P. All right. What was your suggestion for the other step?
And then using 3 and the addition rule, you can get not P and not R. Or sorry, not P or not R.
So you're going to add something to 3. You see how 3 says not P?
Yeah.
Add not R to not P. Do you remember the add rule? Or, good, not R.
R.
Good. Okay. So now, where does that get us?
Oh, hang on. I actually think I just found something wrong.
Yeah, I don't think it'll end up working, this method. But good try. I see exactly what you were thinking with the De Morgans. But yeah, but it's going to end up turning into an and, so it won't be a negation. Alright, does anybody else see anything we could do? We could use either of these approaches, it doesn't matter. Let me ask you this. Let me focus the class's attention on 4, the original 4. K gives you R, and R gives you K. What does that mean?
Necessary, or they're both necessary and sufficient for each
Mm-hmm.
other.
Yeah, okay, that's the way I brainwash you talk, but what does it mean?
We need to prove that we don't have K.
Yeah, you do need to prove something like you don't have K. That would get you somewhere, right? But so, but what does 4 mean? Not necessarily sufficient, which you're right, but read 4 to me.
Does CD apply? Does CD apply to this?
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
Okay.
But what does 4 mean? I'm trying to get you guys to think through the problem, not just look at patterns, right? Somebody read 4 to me.
K then R,
Mhm.
and R then K.
Right, K then R and R then K. So I know that if I had K, I'd have R. If I had R, then I'd have K.
So you end up having K then K, so you can't have R.
If I had K, I would end
No,
up
if
having
you-
K.
yeah.
Right. So we've kind of worked some things out here. We know that K gives you R gives you K. Now 7, K gives you K, because from 5 and 6 you do a hypothetical syllogism, right? But does that get us anywhere? Does that give us K? No, it's just saying if I had K, then I would have K. That doesn't mean I have K. 8. What's 8 say?
Not K or R.
You either have K or you don't.
It's actually the K on each side. It's not K or K. Yeah.
Alright.
So, then we tried to do De Morgan's on that, but it didn't get us anywhere.
Actually, I think I found a way to make it work.
Okay, hold that thought real quick. I want to set this up for constructive dilemma. So with 4, how could we use, let's just say, I'll ask you as a class, 8 and 4 will get us to a constructive dilemma, I think. Maybe I'm wrong. But we could figure out how to do a constructive dilemma by using 8 and 4 somehow. How can we get there?
Double negation maybe, something.
Maybe double negations, sure. K then R and R then K. Somebody tell me, what's a form of a constructive dilemma? Who's got their rule sheet in front of them?
What's a form?
Yeah, like what is constructive dilemma?
Oh, it's you have like Q or R, and then you have to have Q then R and, or sorry, like Q and P, then, or sorry, do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So
I'm trying to think of maybe
it's
symbols is
if
easier.
P then Q, if T then R,
You have to have
P or T, you're having the an or with the antecedents of either one, right?
It's like the left-hand side at the beginning of each statement in between the ands that has to match
Right.
whatever's in between the or.
Yes. So with 4, let's do a material implication on the right-hand side of 4. So if we did just on the right-hand side, what would we have? Good. Now, what would happen if we then did a commutativity on the right-hand side of 9?
We
Set up for constructive dilemma.
Mm-hmm. Good. Now, how can you set that up? What's the final step of getting that ready for a constructive dilemma?
You need like K or R, K or not R, something like that.
Say that again?
You need an or statement so that you can like eliminate.
Well, a little bit ahead of yourself, right? Because we don't have 2 conditionals on 10 yet. So we need to get a conditional on the right-hand side of 10. If I did a material implication again on the right-hand side of 10, what would that give me? These go both ways with rules of replacement. Good. Okay, so now look at 11. 11 says K then R, and if not K, then not R. Don't I already know not K or K? Isn't that a constructive dilemma waiting to happen? So if we use 11 and 8, constructive dilemma, what would we get? And I don't want you to look at the rule sheet. I want you to think about this, right? This is the point of this practice. What relationship do 11 and 8 have to each other?
We would from that you could get R or not R.
R or not R, right. Now, why?
Because we either have not K or K. And if we have not K, it'll satisfy not R. And if we have K, it'll satisfy R.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, good. And we know we're going to have one of them. Good. So, what are we going to get from 8 and 11 constructive dilemma? R and not R, yeah. Good. Okay. So now we have R or not R. We need to get not R. Is there anything I could do now? Where do we see? I didn't promise that this would work. I was just saying I'm setting up for something I see, right?
Can you do permittivity again and make it R and not R, and then simplify?
It would be not R or R if you did com on 12.
Is 6 still relevant?
Is 6 still
Sorry,
relevant?
can you
Sure.
tell that's like a star? I mean,
It's-
like, if you have R or not R.
It's
yeah.
R then
R than
K
K.
on 6, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's relevant, but what could we do? Anyone see anything?
The more
Material.
We could try. I don't know if it's going to get us anywhere, but we could see. I mean, I'm good with just the class calling out things to see. I mean, that's what I'm trying to get us to do, right?
Could you use material implication
On what?
on 12?
Sure, what would that give you?
That would be, sorry, I gotta look at the rules real quick. I lost it.
It's okay. It's right here.
Okay. It would give you that. It would give you, it's already up there, isn't it? I'm so lost.
On 12?
I've confused myself now.
So 12 says R or not R. If I
Okay.
did material implication that with this form, what would that give me?
And then
Not R then R.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Would that get us anywhere?
another line on
Another line? Will we get us closer to our goal?
More lines.
Probably not. Anybody see how to actually solve it?
Could you use addition for like not feet or something?
On where? What line?
So if you use 3 not P and then you add like I guess R in this, then you can simplify the R.
Mm-mm. Won't work.
Yeah, I see it now.
So if you added an R or something to not P, and then you tried to do a disjunctive syllogism on it to get it by itself, it wouldn't work because you wouldn't be able to get what you've added,
Right.
right? Does anybody see how to actually do it? Were you going to say it earlier? Huh?
I think I'm just lost in the sauce at this point.
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
mean-
confused on everything that we've done that I don't know what needs to be done from here.
Yeah. I mean, that's what happens, right? It's hard.
Well, I mean, I don't know the rules, but what we could do is we could say, since we have not P, from line 2, we can do a thing with the right side of, line 2 where if we don't have P, then we know that we don't have R, because if we had R, then we would have P.
Yeah, but we can't do it. We don't have the rule.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. That's good thinking. Yeah, that's what I want. That type of thinking. It makes perfect sense. All right.
But then we would also have to have K, which is a whole conversation.
Right. Anybody see?
Can you toss us a lifeline so that we can do another one so that we can just get more practice?
Sure. Okay, let's just restart this. Let's see if I'm actually right and how confused I am on this. Because maybe I confused myself too.
Oh, so it's your fault.
Well, I'm not saying it's my fault. We should be on top of this stuff by now, right?
We just did so much stuff that I got.
Didn't we all agree we've had adequate time?
Right, then you do it.
All right.
In less than 10 steps. You got this.
Oh, I don't know if that's possible. I'm going to start again this time, equivalence, just to see where it gets me. Right, 1 equiv. 5. I'm going to go K, then R, then P. I'm going to go to exportation, which will be K and R, would give me P. I'm going to go 6. If I had K and R, that would give me P. I have not P, so I think I will be able to do some less than 10, dude. I'm going to do 3, 5 modus tollens. 7, I'm going to do De Morgan's on this, which will give me not K or not R. 6 De Morgan's. 8, I'm going to do a material implication, which will show me that K would give me not R. 9, K would give me not R, but how do I get to not R? That's as far as I thought ahead. Maybe I can't do it in 10.
Can we like redo number 4 and instead of doing if P then Q and if Q then P, can we do P and Q or not P and not Q? And then maybe we can for number 2 we can do implication or not implication, I forget what that was called.
So, okay, so here, you're thinking we don't have to restart, we could just do a transposition, right?
Wait, say that again?
We don't have to restart, we could do a transposition, right?
Yeah, we can do transposition on the
Which side?
do it on the right one because then we can rewrite 2 or line 2 where it says K and R then P
And then you rewrite line 2 to say what?
to make it K and R then P.
Okay, so I've got that here.
Oh, whoops, I didn't even see that.
Yeah, it's okay.
You can rewrite the first line to K and R or like the not, yeah. And then from that you get to prove with number, what is it, line 7, I think, or 6.
10
That's
follows
what I was
from
trying
1.
to say. I didn't realize it. That's what I was trying to say for 9.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. Alright, so we've got that now from a 1 equivalence. That's the other form of equivalence, right? And where can I go from there?
You can do, yeah, that, oh, what?
What's 10 say? K and R or not K and not R? Not K and R. What am I left with out of here?
K and R.
No, I'm left with this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
Not K and not R from 10, 6. And then, where does that get me?
Not R, so you can do sync, right?
Yeah. There we go. 12. Close. 2 under 10. Okay, there we go. I think I should have maybe started doing this sooner and just making everybody struggle through it.
yeah, like, give us the hard ones, Nicholas.
Yeah. Okay. Who wants to go next? Actually, no. I'm gonna be authoritarian for the rest of the semester. Okay. Come on up. What number are you again? 32? Yeah. See, I'm remembering the numbers.
I just said it to you.
You didn't say it, you mouthed it, and it jogged my memory.
I said it.
It's still me remembering. Alright, 32. Why can't this little podium bear my weight? Every time I put my weight on it, it starts to go down. See? What did you say?
Big, strong man.
Big boy is what you said. I'm a big boy.
You are a big boy.
I am a big boy. That's what everybody called me growing up, a husky boy.
Oh, yeah.
It's true, I'm husky. I'm 255 pounds. 6'3". I have to go to special elves to sew my extra large clothes. That's not true. If it was, I wouldn't tell you. Okay, so you're starting this. Do you have it figured out?
Oh, this is before you said stopped writing.
Oh, it's okay. No, you're fine. Do you think you solved it?
I think
Good.
I need to.
Good for you.
I'm trying to be funny.
No, I'm serious. I mean, yeah, if you can figure it out, great. How could I be mad at somebody doing a proof well? I don't know.
Okay, so this is the original problem, the one that gave us in the book, and it says C, then not L, then not Q, or I mean then Q, and number 2 says L, then not C, 3 just says not Q, the conclusion is not C, so for number 4, I got not L from 1 and 2, and T, number 5, because we don't have L, I got not, I did the additional, so I got not Q, and I just added C. I got that from 3 and 4, and then for 6, I got not, if we don't have Q, then we do not have C, and I did 6.
Okay. What are your thoughts? I'm letting the class adjudicate everything, this class. Let's give some constructive feedback. I'll say up front, I don't think that proof works.
No.
So I don't think most tones an add works, but I want to hear why.
It's because of the simplification on the number 5. You can't say like I have this or this, because you could have both or you could have neither.
And the add, isn't it supposed to be an and or? And then so you simplify, because you would then have both.
Conjunction is and, because they both have to be stated separately as true premises.
Okay, so hold on.
No.
Just I'm training you all right now. Imagine if I got up here and I was asking you guys questions and teaching you things, and I just said conjunction is and also that doesn't work on one, and also that, right? You throw in strings of things at it, right? Simple, concise terms. What's the first problem here?
The reason simplification works is because you would need something and something, and so like therefore you would have both. And so it doesn't work with the or. That's like the main thing.
Okay, so where is that a problem here?
You can't derive not C from not over C from line 5 because it's not an and.
Okay, so 6 doesn't work. And what he's saying is that 6 doesn't work because in order to simplify something, it has to be an and for the main operator. But 5 has an or. Does that make sense?
I also don't
Okay.
get how you got not C from not Q or C.
Well, that's what he was talking about. Yeah. So 6 doesn't work. Let's look at 5 now. Where is 5 coming from? It's coming from 3, right? That's fine. You can add to 3Q to get a C. That's totally fine. So that's fine. 4. What's wrong with 4?
You haven't isolated the not L, then Q.
Right. So you're getting from 1, 2. So what's 1 say?
C, then not L, then not R, Q, or then Q.
Yeah, then Q. And then 2 says L, then not C. So how does it follow from that you get not L? So C then, if not L, then Q. L then not C. Therefore not L. Does that make sense in your head when you read that loud?
Well, when you just said it, no, it doesn't.
Right. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is, like, instead of just giving you more problems to work on by yourself, I'm trying to show you how we solve these things as actual people, is that we talk with each other and we try to give each other constructive feedback step by step, really clearly. We say exactly what numbers we're talking about, and we only do it concisely. Like, I think there's a problem with 6 because of this, right? The other thing I'm trying to show you is we need to be talking through the actual meaning of all of our premises and how they interact with each other, right? Instead of just looking for patterns. Because what we might pick up on is a pattern, a visual pattern that we think works. And we realize once we even just read 1 and 2 to ourselves, it just doesn't work, right? So 2 takeaways from this class is we all need to be thinking about reading the premises to ourselves out loud. And when we give each other feedback or say exactly what's wrong, we need to go in simple steps and not just throw everything at each other. Does that make sense? Okay. So let's restart this. We'll just restart and get rid of everything other than 4. Or restart everything but leave the number 4.
Before, could you do exportation of 1?
That's what I just did.
Sure, so you can erase not L too, sorry. Yeah. Okay. So exportation. What is exportation? Do you remember? Okay. Do you have your rule sheet with you? I can give you mine as well if you need it. Yeah, here you go. So exportation, EXP. Okay, so what's your suggestion?
Oh, so you would make it C and not L?
Wait, hold on, before that. What's your suggestion on what to do?
Use exportation.
Use exportation on 1. Yeah, I know this sounds really like condescending pedantic. I'm not trying to be. I'm saying we gotta slow down, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Let's slow down and just help each other. So then she can learn what she's doing instead of just copying what we say, right? So 1, if we did an exportation on it, what would that get us? Good, C and not L. And then what would the other parts of that be? Look at the rest of the exportation rule because you're leaving something out. Then Q, perfect. Okay, see, you're absolutely correct. Absolutely correct in your suggestion, right? But I want you to teach her, right? Does it make sense what I'm saying?
You gotta
Okay.
make sure you put the C and not L in parentheses.
Yeah, those have to be in parentheses. Good. Okay, perfect. So we got that. That's a good move.
Alright, now you can do modus ponens.
On.
Not Q, on 4.
No, wait. So then.
You can do modus tollens on 4 because if you have C and not L, then Q, and then you have
Wait a
not
minute, so
Q
you want me to erase this?
online.
No, that's fine. That's
Oh,
fine.
no.
Yeah, that's a good move. Don't erase it since it's a good move. Okay, hold on. One person said most ponens, one person says most ponens.
I meant tonens.
Your phone's
Wait,
about
which
to die.
one?
I miss modus ponens.
Okay.
You have not Q.
Okay, so we're going to do MT on what line?
4.
4. Don't say the result.
Your phone's about to die.
Wait a minute.
Damn.
The battery thing is.
Oh, it doesn't really matter.